watching WKBN 27 First News, where your news comes first. Now in high definition.
Welcome back. We begin a special series tonight about the fastest growing population in the Valley, senior citizens. Peggy Sinkovich and videographer Nick Rich have the story of what impact seniors are having on our community.
Swing through.
Senior citizens are the fastest growing population segment in the United States. Nationally, 77 million baby boomers will become eligible for Medicare starting next year. This elderly boom will have quite an impact on individuals, families, taxpayers, and the healthcare system.
We are an aging population, and as the baby boomers age, it'll be even more of a problem. We have 5 million with Alzheimer's. We'll have roughly 13 million in the next 30 or 40 years.
And as Dr. Daniel Van Dusen of Youngstown State University tells me, the Mahoning Valley is also noticing an increase in our elderly population.
Mahoning County is the third oldest by percentage of all the counties in the state of Ohio. The only two counties that are older are Jefferson and Belmont counties.
Here's the breakdown for the Tri-County area. In Mahoning County, 16.7% are over 65 years old. 16.2% in Trumbull County are over 65, and 15% in Columbiana are over 65 years old.
It's interesting, the median age of all three of our counties is equal to or greater than the median age of the state of Florida.
And with a high senior citizen population in our Tri-County area, that means more people need help getting their meals prepared, and they'll also need help driving places. Programs such as Trumbull County Mobile Meals and Trumbull Elderly Affairs that assist with transportation and meals are already seeing increases, which makes many wonder if government-based programs can handle the swell.
But as a society, we cannot afford to put everybody into institutional care. There has to be a role for caregivers taking care of their family members. Economically, we just can't handle it. There's not enough people in the workforce to even come close to handling that, nor is there enough money in anybody's Medicaid budget to take care of that.
This means younger family members, such as children and grandchildren, will most likely be needed to help out. Peggy Sinkovich, 27 First News.
Most senior citizens prefer the independence of living at home over a nursing home or assisted living center. In part 2 of her series on senior citizens, Peggy Sinkovich explains how different options help people stay in their homes longer.
When Dr. Frank Tiberio suffered a stroke earlier this year, he had to spend some time at a nursing facility. While his stay was all right, he knew he wanted to go back to the home he has lived in for 40 years. Tiberio, however, knew he couldn't be there alone when his son and daughter-in-law were at work, so Comfort Keepers was contacted to help him with daily chores. They provided Herman Frank a home health care aide 8 hours a day.
Well, it's companionship, somebody to discuss things, anything they or I want to discuss, and it keeps it interesting. And otherwise, just the four walls, you know.
Anyone who can remain independent should be able to remain independent. When it reaches a point when you may need skilled care on a regular basis, then you may look to a facility, but there's lots of services like ours that can provide in-home care and allow people to be where they were their whole lives, where they raised their family, where their memories are.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
The same goes for 101-year-old Alva Cowhill of Trumbull County. She lives by herself in an apartment in Warren. She, however, depends on Trumbull County Office of Elderly Affairs for help.
I couldn't live alone, I think, without somebody bringing food and kind of looking after me.
And those who deliver the meals do far more than just bring daily food.
If they don't answer the door, we'll call back to the office, and then they'll give them a ring to see if maybe, just, make sure they're okay.
The Office of Elderly Affairs can also help with transportation for seniors who can live alone but need help getting around.
And so I get all my doctor trips that way. That was a big problem.
Come on, Mom.
But others, such as 105-year-old Josephine DeBell, a resident at Cortland Healthcare, need or want the security and skilled medical care provided at a long-term facility. Placing your loved one in a nursing home is not an easy decision, and experts stress that before you do this, make sure you visit the facility and ask lots of questions.
You want to take the time to visit the facility. Just don't go by what the social worker at the hospital says. Take the time to go out to the facility. Walk in. At any point of the day or night, 24 hours a day, they should have somebody there to take you on a tour.
Peggy Sinkovich, 27 First News.
Tonight is the last part of our series on senior citizens. Peggy Sinkovich looks at making care easier for our elderly loved ones.
With the increase in senior citizens in the Mahoning Valley, more and more adult children are finding themselves now caring for their parents.
And I don't have siblings like to help me, so the one thing that you do give up is your freedom. So be prepared, anybody that doesn't have, a lot of help. But people that have big families, and if they all get along good, that's wonderful.
Margie and her husband help care for Margie's 106-year-old mother, Meg Layton. Margie says she's grateful to have her mother with her, and since her mom is in good health, she doesn't have any major issues. However, when an older person suffers with dementia or Alzheimer's, caregiving can become very difficult.
Caregivers that are taking care of their relatives with Alzheimer's have a very high likelihood they can get sick and die from the stress and fatigue. They also can get depression and other health problems.
Dr. Wilkins suggests that caregivers make sure they take care of themselves. Visit a doctor, get regular checkups, and ask for help. Agencies such as Home Instead and Comfort Keepers can provide caregivers to come in for a few hours a week so the main caregiver can get a break. Dave Merkern, owner of the local Comfort Keeper, says caregiver burnout is very common.
You have to be careful to live your life, not feel guilty about having someone take care of your loved one so that you can do certain things that you need to maintain your own health.
There are several support groups in the area, such as one provided by the Area Agency on Aging 11.
Some people are really stressed and some people are frustrated, and then when they share their stories, they understand that they're not in that situation by themselves. They're not the only person going through whatever it is that they're going through.
Healthcare officials stress that if you are the main caregiver of a loved one, make sure you call and attend a support group near you. Not only can you learn helpful information, you will also help yourself. Peggy Sinkovich, 27 First News.